Hello and welcome to Estuary TV News with me, Dan Kemp. In tonight's show, it's our weekly paper review, and joining me in the studio is Estuary TV's very own news editor and rambler, in more ways than one, Emma Lingard. But first, here's Richard Morris with the news headlines.
Hello, in the headlines today, a new way to sell poppies, and the Christmas tree for North East Lincolnshire has arrived on our shores, courtesy of Norway. Humberside Police are appealing for information relating to a spate of attacks damaging cars on the Orchard Park estate in Hull. On a number of streets on the estate, cars were damaged on Wednesday night. The incident took place at around 9:30 at night and around 20 to 30 people were involved. They then proceeded to tip over cars, causing significant damage. Enquiries are taking place door to door and police are checking CCTV, and they're also increasing patrols in the area. Anyone with information is asked to contact Humberside Police to aid them with their inquiries. A British Legion poppy seller in North East Lincolnshire has thought of a new way to publicise Remembrance Day. Stuart Baxter has had his VW camper van decorated with soldiers and poppies to commemorate the yearly event and has been selling poppies from his van in the area. He has received mostly positive comments from the public in his drive to raise money for those who lost their lives fighting for our country.
Well, last night there was actually a post on the internet giving quite a negative reaction, saying it was a bit too much displaying on the van, but then within the first sort of 20 to 30 minutes there was over 2,000 comments saying that it's an excellent piece of artwork, so I'm quite impressed with that response. It's a very important thing that that we don't forget the fallen soldiers, and hopefully it draws a bit of attention today and reminds people of this, and it hopefully goes on to generation like it should do.
Now, you may remember from last week that Herib is celebrating its 150th year. A special speaker was invited in to talk at a celebratory luncheon. Simon Brown was shot through the face by a sniper in the Iraqi city of Basra in December 2006 while on tour then. Simon was left with 19% of his vision and was put on a long recovery program to help him cope with his loss of vision, alongside facial reconstructive surgery. Simon stressed the importance that charities such as Herib have in the rehabilitation of blinded people, whether they are service personnel or not.
So charities like Herib, the way they help people, the main thing is to help people transition from being sighted to losing their sight, because it's a massive emotional blow. You know, it is like losing a member of your family, losing your sight, and it's probably one of the disabilities that scares most of us. So with the professionalism and honesty and integrity of the staff as guiding you through this process and introducing you to the right people at the right stages through your training and rehabilitation, means that you can actually move forward and come to terms with the blindness, and in fact, you know, still go on and achieve great things that you thought, you know, were barriers there that weren't.
Now we are in the run-up to Christmas. Humberside Police have relaunched their anti-drink driving campaign. The campaign is run by the force in partnership with Safer Roads Humber, and this year marks 50 years of drink drive campaigns launched by the Department of Transport under the Think branding. Over the years, national deaths related to drink driving have been reduced from 1,640 in 1967 to 230 in 2012. Humberside Police say these statistics show the importance of the campaigns. Last year in our region, there were 2 fatal drink drive incidents alongside 30 serious injuries and 119 slight injuries. The fatalities were down from 5 in 2012. And finally, you know Christmas has begun when the tree arrives in town. Grimsby's annual gift of a tree from the people of Norway arrived in the town's docks. It was greeted by Alex Baxter, the Mayor of North East Lincolnshire, and representatives from Grimsby in Bloom. The tree came from Sortland and will be erected in the town next week in readiness for the official light switch on.
The people of Norway have gifted a tree for the last 40 years, so far as I'm aware, and particularly by the shipping line over the last 10 years. And Sutcliffe's, of course, are always on side to deliver this. There's stevedores, and they're, of course, a well historically established company within the Grimsby area. The people of Grimsby really appreciate this gift.
Yeah, of course, it's a long tradition. It's 10th time from Sortland. Before it was from Trondheim, but the tradition is from the war, so it's a long tradition and good to keep it alive.
That's all from me for now, and we'll be back with more news soon. Bye for now.
Thank you, Richard. Now it's time for our weekly paper review, and I'm joined on the sofa this week by Emma Lingard, who of course is best known to Estuary TV viewers for doing her Lincolnshire rambles. Thanks for joining me, Emma.
That's quite all right, Dan.
You looking forward to doing your paper review today?
I am. There's lots of interesting stories, actually.
Go on then, what have you picked first for us?
Okay, first off, Hull Daily Mail. It was Halloween, of course, the other week. And according to local historian Mike Cavell, who I know we've featured on our programme, he has said there is a rise in spooky sightings in the city. Now, you're a Hull boy. Don't you've seen many ghosts around Hull? He does ghost walks around the city. And it seems that during the ghost walks that he's been doing, a number of people have spotted seeing apparitions, or so-called apparitions. It depends whether you believe in it at the end of the day, doesn't it? Allegedly, there was one in St Mary's Church in Lowgate, which I think is the old part of the town, isn't it? Where somebody saw a man with a top hat standing behind one of the tombs. And then a lady said she saw the figure of a white woman walk through a graveyard. And then he had somebody from the University of Hull who, and I quote, this is Mike, got so frightened he ran away. 1 minute he was standing there, the next he bolted. And he said he was scared because he saw a puff of smoke in a doorway. Now, I've never been on this ghost walk, so I don't know whether there are any theatrics involved at all.
That's been my guess, but...
or whether these are genuine. Be interested to go on one of those.
And do you believe in this kind of thing?
I don't know. I mean, I would personally, my own opinion is, I think there are some things that once you've gone through all the rational, logical things and you can't find an explanation, that maybe there is something out there. Who knows? Who knows? Have you ever seen?
I'm going to remain sceptical on this one.
Well,
personally.
I mean, this is it. It's that proof. I mean, as journalists, we always question things, don't we? Because you're trained to ask the questions before you dive in and believe in something. And I think there's a lot of that. And I don't know. I have to say, personally, there are some things that have happened to me that once you've gone through all that logical explanation, that you think, oh, you know, I don't know. I'd like to believe there was something.
I feel like we could be going on for hours if I asked you to explain all those, because you do rambling.
I do ramble for hours. Thanks, Dan.
Go on then, what have we picked out next?
Okay, well, building, Scunthorpe Telegraph. Many people in Scunthorpe will know Henry Africa's, which was a well-known club, and it could be demolished. It seems that after 76 years, the people who own the venue on Doncaster Road feel they can't save it and that it's going to be demolished. I think basically what they've said here, it's been the decline with football in the town, they reckon. People obviously going to other places, that this place will be gone. I don't think I've ever been to Henry Africa's, and I doubt you will, because you're so young. You've never been out in Scunthorpe, have you?
Absolutely not.
But no, it says here the building originally opened in 1938 as a cinema. And then later on it became Henry Africa's, which, amongst others, in 1987, Barbara Windsor launched the venue, it seems. So again, that's another sad thing, isn't it? It's a sign of the times. I mean, all around the area we see so many buildings that are like this, standing derelict. The owners can't find the money to invest in them or reopen them, and they end up getting demolished. But it's what replaces it. Think of the Winter Gardens in Cleethorpes. They demolished that, and that's still standing as a car park.
Seem to be leaving town centres nowadays as well.
Yeah, and that's been a problem, hasn't it, in Scunthorpe, where obviously recently they've had that new retail park open, and yeah, things are going out of town, which isn't suitable for everybody at the end of the day, because people, want something which is on their doorstep.
Speaking of keeping events and attractions on the doorstep, HMS Illustrious as well, another story
Oh yes, that was.
you picked out.
I have Hull Daily Mail. Obviously, the city had put in a bid, didn't they, to get HMS Illustrious, which they didn't get. So at the moment, there's Viola, a trawler, I believe, that people are saying that should be saved and brought back to the city of Hull. This particular vessel was built in Beverley, and it was a steam trawler that in the First World War had a number of encounters with U-boats and spent, well, at the moment, I don't think you can see it in the picture, but I think it's in South Georgia and it's basically rusting away.
That's near the Falkland Islands, isn't it?
It is,
South
yes.
Atlantic.
And 5 Hull maritime firms have come together to have a survey take place. And it's got the backing of Alan Johnson and Graham Stewart. So at the moment they are talking about bringing that boat back to Hull.
I suppose things like this are really key to the City of Culture in 2017.
Yeah, and this is what this is about, isn't it? It's about looking at other ways of bringing people, and we've got such a strong passion in this neck of the woods, you know, being on the coast for our ships.
Absolutely.
And trawlers, and remembering that past. So it looks like if this does go ahead and they do get the support, because at the end of the day it's about money as well, then this survey will basically see whether this ship could come back home.
Because Grimsby's got a fishing heritage centre. Maybe Hull needs something similar, where it can base something around the fishing industry.
Yeah, I mean, it has. I mean, I see Dr. Rob Robinson's quoted in here from the University of Hull's Maritime Historical Studies Centre. I interviewed him for my Scandinavian series, and obviously the maritime history of this area is very strong, and they've got such a fantastic resource there. But yeah, it'll be another thing to add for people to come and visit, won't it?
Now, you've picked out one from the Louth Leader as well. What was this?
Yes.
What was this story?
Animals that need rescuing.
There's a surprise.
Animals.
I thought animals had come up at some point.
It's got horses in.
Right, next one.
Save the Ark. If anybody around here knows, the Ark Animal Rescue Centre in North Somercotes is in desperate need of help. They've basically reached crisis point. They obviously offer homes to many animals that you know, nobody else wants, but they need financial help. Basically, they've got themselves, I think, into a bit of a difficulty, and they would like people to donate, because the running costs, vets bills, food, all of those add up to thousands of pounds, and they're a charity, so they do rely on donations. And I think, like most charities, they're struggling. I think a lot of people maybe are not dishing out money as readily.
A lot of charities for people, I think, probably make a lot more money than the ones for animals.
I don't know. I don't
That's
know.
my perception. I don't know if that's right, though.
I mean, I've never researched into it, but I'm sure I've heard that with us being a nation of animal lovers, that animal charities probably do far better. But I don't know. Maybe I've misread that, but I'm sure I did read that somewhere. But again, it's a local animal centre. You know, there's donkeys, there's dogs, there's horses, but they need help. They need help, and it's sad, because you think, well, what would happen to those animals if they didn't get rehomed? Where would they go?
No, absolutely.
You know, you've got to weigh that up, haven't you? Do you put those animals down and save them pennies? I know it's an awful thing to say, but I suppose it's that dose of realism sometimes. But they do need help. Look.
Thank you, Emma. And that's all for tonight's show. But don't forget, if you've got some stories you want to share with us, please get in touch. Our number is Grimsby 315 561. You can also get in touch via Facebook or Twitter at Estuary TV, or by emailing us at news@estuary.tv. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.